Good morning. So let's start. If you want to use for everywhere, present live, you can scan the QR code. All right, so ready? Okay, so let me go to this page. Today we want to discuss protocol layers and service models. And I try to remind you of checking the preview videos. Maybe in the future I will go through the slides quickly because I assume you will view the videos, actually view the preview videos, and then for some content I think if it is okay, then I will go through quickly. For example, this one, protocol layers. Well, protocol layers actually is something like we have some box and put box on a box, and then we will have the steps. Well, so if you want to think layers equal to steps, that's fine. Why I use step? Because I think you have the concept of steps. If you think you can understand what I talk to you, that's fine. Sometimes we don't have the exact subtitles, so just for your reference. Well, if you have the idea stats, I think you will know we will have stats for networking as well. Why we want to have stats or the layers here? Because networks are complex, and therefore we try to have many pieces, but many actually no, we try to have some, and so that those layers can control networking properly. For that reason, then we will have layering. Later we will ask you layering again. Well, so look at this question. The question asks us, is it possible to have any possible structure, and so that structure can help us understand the operation of networking easily? Well, because of this, then we will have layers. Before we go, here it's really simple. Daily life example, talking about air travel. I'm not sure. Have you ever taken maybe an airplane to the other places? If yes, I think you will have this feeling or this experience, right? You need to buy a ticket, purchase. Then you have ticket, you will go to the airport, so you will have your baggage. You need to check in, and then once you have the baggage, you need to ask some maybe crew member to load your baggage so that we have the gates. Of course, you need to go there before loading. And actually, runaway that says tackle, and then we will have airplane routing, and etc. So we have these, all the steps here. So it says at this we need to have some standardized steps, and those steps we can have the suitable layers. Well, so this is a daily life example. Well, if you want to have the corresponding part to have the other side, we will have reach the destination and landing and so that unload the baggages. And you need to claim where is your baggage. Finally, if you have any complaint, then you will have the complaint about this travel. In fact, about the tickets. Well, this is a daily life example. We just pass on the daily life example so that we have some functions. Put some function into some layers, and then we can have the layers here. Well, of course, you can define the function for each layers. All right, and actually for layer and layer, we need to have the maybe proper action, and so that the upper layer try to have some goal to the lower layer, actually the right lower layer, so that you will have the implementation. Well, I ask you to perform some actions for me. Well, so we can have the layers from the daily life example. Again, so we have the layer, and so that we will have the corresponding service, ticketing service, baggage service, gas service, around-away service, and routing service. In fact, because of the service here, so that we have the layers. Well, we see I already have a reason. The system is complex, so we need to have layers, and so that we have at least one reason to support layering. Why layering here? So first of all, complex system. All right, because of a complex system, so we have layering. Well, I ask you to check the first two items by yourself. Complex system, so we need to do something like this. So we will have a layering, and so we will have this. Allow you to have 1 minute to check. Of course, you can discuss with your members. So at least I didn't have the chance to start. I mean, I start here, so that I have the chance to check the content I delivered to you, and so that I think you may have some image to understand something. Well, before we go, let me have 1 minute to check. So group 1 up to now. Any questions? No? Okay, thank you. And group 4? No, sir. Okay, good, thank you. So next one, we have some items layering considered harmful. So, is it harmful to have the layers? The answer is it is probably harmful if you have the layers, but you don't have the proper definition for function for each layer. And so that sometimes you have a function fall outside the two layers, and then it seems really no one wants to take care of some issues. If so, then we will have harmful effects. All right, so it's possible. However, if we can have the proper separation of functions to each layer, and then no harmful effects. And of course, is it possible to have a similar layering to the other complex system? Of course, the answer is yes. Well, because of that, we will have the protocol layers, and here we call protocol stack. Well, for the internet, this possible that you have 5 layers from physical, link, network, transport to application layers. Layer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From bottom to up, top. And so then we have the 5 layers. As for the content of functions within the layers, I think you can check it by yourself. I assume you check the videos before you come here. But I want to emphasize this one. Application layer, then some possible examples. HTTP, SMTP, and IMAP. All the examples here, they are protocols as well. And how about transport layer? TCP and UDP. Same, they are protocol as well. But right now, we just want to have the protocol stack for the internet. So internet can cover many protocols, and so that we will have the protocol stack for the internet. All right, so of course we can have the other protocol to support the protocol stack of the internet. Okay.
And are there like any other protocols for transporting the internet?
It's possible, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, you can have the extra defined transport layer protocol for sure. Yeah, it's possible. But frequently we use UDP and TCP, so we mention the 2 protocols here only. It doesn't mean limit to the 2 protocols. Okay. And network layer, we have IP routing and the other protocol. So we mention IP and routing only. Doesn't mean we have the 2 types of protocol. And likewise, we can have link layer. We have Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and PPP. Point-to-point protocol, PPP. As for physical layer, it really depends. If we talk about, for example, Ethernet, then we can have the twisted pair, and then we will have the corresponding. It doesn't mean the protocol. We will have the media layer. And likewise, if we have a 5G, we will have the media for 5G, right? Well, now, if we have all the layers, and then how it works. It looks like we want to send a package. In fact, here I call package. You want to send a package, for example, through the post office. And then, if you don't have any preparation, you can bring something you want to send to the post office, and then put the content into the box. All right. So, for example, put into the box. So first of all, you have the message, the content you want to deliver. Put into the box. For the box, you should have some information. For example, where you want to send. So at least you need to have the destination, right? At least you need to have the name of the receiver or something else. So that's why we have the extra term here. We have a header. And with the header and the messaging, then you will have here a still called packet, but we have a new term. We call it segment. So the packet here, in fact, it is not packet. The packet here we call segment for the transport layer. Likewise, you can use the current content, put into the box. And still we have the header. But this time, this one, in fact, we can call it packet. However, in the internet, we call it datagram. So if you want to call it a packet, it's okay. And here we have a datagram because of internet. So we call it datagram here. Frame, and finally, it's bit string. So we don't have any specific term associated with the physical bits. Well, if so, it is called encapsulation. So what that means encapsulation, I didn't know the meaning. Someone like put the content into the box. That way, it is called the encapsulation. However, I didn't have the keywords here. I don't think it is so exactly if we have the current is maybe meaning for the encapsulation. If you want to follow the concept, actually just the content put into the box, and that way it is called the encapsulation. However, following the dictionary, we have the meaning. If we have that one, actually, something like maybe not compression, but similar to that one, but put into the box. Well, maybe something wrong. Something wrong with your present life, but let me continue. So here we have encapsulation and put into box and then send it to the nearby device. So here we have a nearby device. A nearby device should have the same number of layers. The answer is no. The intermediate one, we can have 2 layers for switch, but 3 layers for routers. Alright, so it doesn't mean we always have 5 layers. For the internet, for example, for switch, we only have 2 layers. For router, we can have 3 layers. And the thing about this, if you want to, actually you want to fulfill the function of a switch by a computer, is it possible? 就你要实现一个 switch， 但是是你自己用电脑做。So is it possible to fulfill the function of a switch by using a computer?
Why not?
Why not? Yes, it's yes. However, if it is yes, let me ask you the question. If you implement the switch using your computer, so how many layers you can have using that computer? 2 or 5?
Like 5. 3 of them will be
Yes. The answer from this student is correct. Because of a computer, it's a host. So we have 5 layers. We have 3 extra layers. It doesn't mean functionally. It is they are redundant functions there because it won't be necessary to go to the app layer. However, you use a computer, so you have 5 layers. But for layer 3, 4, and 5, they are extra functions. It won't be necessary for the original purpose of the switch. Yeah, that's it. So here I identify for the actual idea. It's possible to always use 5 layers to implement some components. All right, for example, you can use a computer to replace that switch. All right, so up now for this is okay. Well, let me share with Kurose about the current discussion using a computer to replace a switch. Okay? Okay, thank you. So I think I just follow the slide to let you know this is operation. We have the encapsulation setting to switch and set it to routers, finally to the destination. All right, that's all. To the destination, actually, we need to encapsulate so that we can extract the content. So we need to actually open the box and get the content. Open the box and get the content. Finally, you get the message. That is what you want. So repeat the operation so that you can have the message reach the destination, right? Okay, so we can go to the next one. All right, so that's all. This is the discussion for protocol layers. And maybe I still emphasize some important content, but at least I go through the description for protocol layers quickly. Well, is it okay? So, if it is okay, then for the history, I go through quickly as well, but this time I don't mention some important points. So here we have the history. You can read them and check something you feel interesting. All right, so if I follow the history this time, I go through quickly. I don't think you like it at all. And in fact, let me know the fact. I never have any question regarding the current content. Okay, that's it. So it's really easy. Well, finally, it's a summary. So I think the summary here, that you have a 1 minute to check. Why? Maybe not 1 minute. A few seconds to check. We have chapter 1.1 to chapter 1.7 to the history. And I just ask you to refresh your memories. Okay, and in fact, we have some extra slides. This one. Is it possible to have 7 layers rather than 5 layers if you want to define for yourself? For the internet, it's okay. If it's okay, then we will have the extra layers, presentation and section. But why we have 5 layers? In fact, for the internet protocol stack, app layer, cover app, presentation and section layers here for the OSI 7 layer. And that's it. So here we have some extra discussion. Well, so that's why we still can have 5 layers. But right now, if you don't like it, you can extend 5 layers to 7 layers. And so that you can have some extra layers, presentation and section layers. So the 2 layers are actual layers compared to 5 layers for the original discussion.
It's hard to say, like set in stone, or can you just make them up? Can you make up layers?
I don't know, in fact, even if you don't like 7 layers, you can have the other layer.
Can I make like infinite layers, right? Like 10 layers, 11 layers, right?
Yeah.
Or are these like set in stone and you cannot like change anything about this?
In fact, I should mention these. if we have 5 layers, can you accept? If you can accept, then we can use the model of 5 layers. And if a 7 layer, if someone else can you accept? If yeah, then we can use it. Why? Because we need to have the layer and also accept by the other operation, and so that we can avoid some problem of interoperabilities. All right, so at least define the protocol step to have the protocol step, and then we need to have a widespread concept of a protocol layer. Or otherwise, well, I push, we have 5 layers, but you don't accept it. Well, just I use it. You don't use it. All the guys don't use it, and then it's meaningless. All right. However, because of some researchers push to have 7 layers initially, it is a general purpose layering to have 7 layers, just for reference. So sometimes if you think 7 layers, too many layers there, so you want to reduce some here, we can reduce 2 layers. However, the 2 layers, you can skip the function directly. No, you still need to have 1 layer to cover those functions. Yeah, it doesn't mean remove it, then it's done. No, you still need to have a function, a layer to cover those functions. For those layers you want to hide. Someone like I code, you hide. Oh, sorry. So you remove the layer. It doesn't mean you remove the function total. You still need to implement the functions layer, right? All right, so some other researchers let us have the OSI 7 layers, but it's just a reference model. Here, you should understand reference model. Well, if you want to pass on OSI 7 layer, or maybe pass on the HTTP protocol to observe the content of each, for example here, you can observe the content of the segment, the content of the data frame, then you can use a tool called Wireshark. All right, so Wireshark can check the content. Specifically for the internet, we can have the content for transport layer, network layer, link layer, and of course for the physical one, we have the physical piece, so you won't care too much. So these are the extra slides, but we'll go through quickly. If you want to check it, you can use you can use internet to look up Wireshark, and so that you can have the function. And the function to implement packet analyzer, and so that you need to have packet capture. Capture the packet, then you can analyze the packet, so that you know the functions you have if you want to observe specifically some packets or segments or something else. All right, so that one just for your reference. And previously we have the summary. I asked you to have some memory back, because later we will have one activity to ask you, let me know which content you think you are familiar with. So if you want to share, you don't want to share, at least I allow you to have 3 minutes. Of course, you can discuss with your members as well. So right now, if you want to share, go and share. And later we will then have some keywords or key terms to key on poll everywhere. So think about this, so that you have 3 minutes. And of course, you can chat with your team members. Okay, so open discussion to you. So about the discussion, I may send you some example through lines to illustrate the possible way to deliver the content you want to let us know. Because next week we will ask you to have the formal group discussion, and so that you need to have the presentation. And of course, for all of you, if possible, you can join teams. And not all of you to join teams simultaneously, but at least for the leader. Because of the leader need to have the presentation, so of course you need to join teams. Why I don't want to ask all of you to join teams? Because of bandwidth of the internet. So we will have the congestion level if we have a lot of students joining the team. So only the good leader. Alright, so at least good leader, you should be ready to use Teams. And also I want to illustrate if you want to share what you want to discuss. Possibly you can use handwriting, you can use a file, and so that you share the content through network through Teams, and so that the other student can check the projector to know what you want to talk. Alright, so this my specific purpose, ask you to use Teams to share your content through Teams. And I will send some examples through lines for you to check what is the possible style. And actually, that you have some possible style. You can think about which way you want to use. Maybe at least in the next week.
So we should be on the stage, or we can just
You can stay there, but you need to share the content through your computer. Okay, I will pass microphone to you.
also I can just.
You can just sit there, but you need to share the content.
And what is the presentation about?
The presentation actually I definitely have some problems. Some problems, then you need to show how you solve it. And at least you need to show finally the answers.
Also, we'll get some problems to solve.
Yeah. I will assign some to you. And if you think you need to prepare before you come, sure, I can try to let you have some problem sets. And actually this time I passed on the self-exercise to select some problems to ask you to work on some. It doesn't mean, for example, I have a set of 5 problems. All of you need to work on the 5 problems. At least I will assign 1 problem to each team. That says team, for example, group 1 discuss maybe problem 1, and then you can share. Someone like they want to show how they solve it, right? So this time I will select 5 problems, even we have 7 groups. So that says some groups will work together for one specific problem. And of course, we have many problems there. We cannot go through all the problems. It just serves as a way to have some exercise and let you know if someone wants to solve it and someone solve it and then how they solve it. All right, so sharing some experience when solving the problem. And also possibly to let us have the exact answers. However, I try to avoid possible mistake. I will release the solution before you come. It doesn't mean you need to check the solution before you have the presentation. No. However, at least do your best. Or if possible, all of you can try to pretend you don't have any known solution. We want to work on that and what's the possible outcomes for that solutions. Yeah. So any style you can use, just use that style because it is a group discussion. For the group discussion, finally, I will ask all of you to use whole algebra to key the answer to that problem you focus. So for example, you have 7 members there. All the 7 members need to key in, but if maybe different students can have a big difference, that's okay, but you need to key in. Something like all the activity will have the record for all of you. However, for the problem you don't want to focus, you can key in slide, simply skip.
略过，就跳过。
So you can key skip and so that you still answer that question, but it is not your responsibility. So you key skip. All right. So next week I will mention that as well. But after the 3 minutes, so I ask you to have these. And this one just for reference because I changed it. So here, talking about chapter 1. You can use your app and also think about this. A few words, which I tell you think you still have the high similar, actually the familiarity. So you know that one, familiar with that one. So which term you think you are so familiar after checking the content of chapter 1? Okay, go and check it. Now you have 3 minutes again. Sorry, it seems to be so boring, so some of you fall asleep. I should let you know, the purpose for me at least try to ask all of you can kind of like keep alive to listen to me. If possible, avoid some Chinese. And time the term here, so it will be easier to identify you. Doesn't mean something wrong, no, but avoid the Chinese. I think it should be the same guy to have a system.
So can you give me a story about your
Want to do anything, sure, but later I just want to check the content here. So it's done. So let me check. Anyone failed to key in? Okay, so if it is okay, then don't change the answer. Just keep it. So it's true. The current discussion we will emphasize internet. That's fine. This is the general one, general term. So they all you understand we want to study networking by checking internet. But internet just serving as an example for our course. And for internet, then actually we start from internet. We will have two ways to check to know the internet. And to know the internet, in fact, we have the other. We have a surrounding one. But this one, it is not so important, so that's why it is not the core for the image. And likewise is. Okay, so not the point. However, I think maybe some of you to have the redundant terms considered, reason or something else. It's not correct. But at least this time we already have some preparation. We already have a protocol, correct? So there know some way to measure the performance so that we have delays. And of course, we have the way to forward the packet. We have a packet and packet switching. Well, I think if possible, you need to review. And previously, we have at least 2 playlists. We have a preview video, and we have a review video. Normally, you should have a review video for checking first. If you want to review and you want to check the content, we cover you should check review videos. And so that it's a complete path you can go through to understand, for example, chapter 1. Okay, so this is the final checking, and I think all of you can follow and to understand if indeed you can review the videos. And also you can review the video. But I have the current status reporting to you. I mean, then you have the report of the current status. About the preview videos, I think maybe half of you fail to check the preview video. And next time I assume the percentage will be, getting smaller. So hopefully you can review, you can check the preview videos and so that everything will be okay. And I try to have the way currently you have to some side of the classroom, and so that we may have the questions that we discuss directly. This time, maybe no. For chapter 1, I already have some important points that you know, and we can check questions in the next week. So this time, not totally a flipped classroom, but possibly you may have questions to you directly. So hopefully you should change your mind to have the review videos done before you come. Okay, so this is chapter 1. Before we go, let me check any questions about the lecturing of chapter 1. Well, no, right? So I assume you should understand. And same, one message is sent by the representative of this class, talking about anyone want to buy the textbook, right?
Yeah, so if you want to buy the book, you can just DM me on the line.
Just saying, okay. Or maybe you don't like it, so you can use your way. But I should assume all of you can understand the problem sets if we just have the numbers. If anyone wants to ask me, Professor, can you upload the questions for those selected problems? No, I assume you have the textbook. Alright, you have the hard copy textbook or some other form, I'm not sure, but at least you should consider how to have the textbook. Alright, so that one, I think you can have the response to that representative of the class, or maybe you think everything is okay, but try to contact him if you indeed want to have the textbook. Chapter 2, from the top layer, app layer, application layer. And application layer, previously we have HTTP, email, or something else. So maybe all the content you know, but we still go through them to then have some concept. And also want to have some technique to have some idea. And so that maybe using some calculation example, you will distinguish the meaning of the concepts. Well, so this is the overview. All right, so we already have some principles. And then we have most of the examples, HTTP, email, and DNS, and P2P application. And of course, we already have some codes using Python to have the circuit programming. And this time, I asked the tutor to have demonstration how we have the outcome if we have the program there using Python. And of course, most of you can understand, but maybe some of you don't understand. So if you need to check, we have a video recording for you. And of course, the goal here, we want to know how to have the app layer. So we want to have the paradigms client to server or P2P. All right, and for the needs paradigm, of course, later we can have the keywords. And of course, we have some example, HTTP, SMTP, and DNS. And of course, maybe you can think, you will think, well, too many, you just have one. Sure, you can check it by yourself. And for this one, perhaps I can go through even faster for chapter 2. All right, so the key term paradigm. And in fact, if you can look out for you will have the meaning for you paradigm. And in fact, we have the flipped classroom. And this time you can scan it, and I don't have to let you have the actual time, but you need to answer the questions here. Of course, you can scan, or maybe you have the playlist you can review. I think this time use the hyperlink here. That's your app. Or maybe you can scan the QR code. Because something also maybe not really easy to scan it. If finished, then you can leave. That's it. I still set the timer. If finished, then you can leave directly. Sure, you can check the video to know the answer.